Okay.
I will start all over again.
Yes, Rob.
Okay, again. I'm Rob, and this is Chang Fang. We are the founders of Architecture and Development. We launched our platform 10 years ago to promote and also facilitate a new practice, a practice where communities lead and professionals support. It's a practice that we call Do It Together Architecture, and we launch an annual global challenge to bring the necessary groups together. Today, our organization, our platform, consists of more than 60,000 architecture professionals worldwide, and many of them are looking for new opportunities, new challenges. And today, we are going to listen to two of them, two young architects that want to share their story about their experiences about this Do It Together architecture.
Yeah, so welcome Valentina and Carly. We met Carly and Valentina through the Global Challenge we organized last year. And we were also we met Carly in person in Amsterdam. So that was a very amazing encounter. So very brief intro. Valentina is currently assistant architect at Rice International, and Valentina joined as an ambassador for our global challenge program. Carly is currently managing director of Journeyman International, and Carly, yeah, you were also part of our ambassador network, and eventually you submitted a community initiative to the Global Challenge. So today we'd really like to share and exchange some ideas with Valentina and Carly about how they connect to like-minded people during this Global Challenge program or beyond. And also maybe other people have questions for you or for us. We can have a short open session after a short Q&A. So the first question is the same for both of you, Valentina and Carly. Actually, maybe you should have a very short intro as well and say hi to our guests. Valentina, would you like to say something first?
Yeah, I can go first. Yes, so hi everyone, I'm Valentina. First of all, thank you for the invitation, Rob and Changfang. It's really nice to be able to share with everyone my experience. So as Changfang already told, I'm assistant architect at Rise International. That is a not-for-profit organization based in Lesotho. That is a really small landlocked countries in South Africa. I now working remotely from Europe, but I stayed there. I passed 6 months, 7 months there last year. And like what we do is focuses on economic development through job creation, skills development and sharing, and entrepreneurship. And we like specifically work in the built environment. So what is interesting about our organization is that we created this program called In Loco that is basically a learning by doing program where we recruit young and local graduates from the built environment and architecture, and we basically design and build with them an infrastructure for a vulnerable community. So through this, I think that this is my job, but it's really related to what you at Architecture and Development wants to do, like connecting people, sharing skill, and helping local and vulnerable communities. So yes, I joined the team, Architecture and Development team last year, I think, as an ambassador, and like just from there, I start connecting with different people, different professionals. And then thanks to the challenge, I really discovered a world, like a lot of different projects, different communities, different kind of approach of this do it together architecture that was really inspiring for me. And yeah, this is a really brief introduction. I will leave the floor to Carly and then we'll see the question.
It is nice to see your image appear on several projects already.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I'm starting collaborating with a lot of, and yeah, it's really nice to just also chat about our objectives, our goal, and yeah, it's really, really inspiring. Carly, please.
Thanks, Valentina. So cool to hear about what you're doing. I'm inspired by everyone in this network. And yeah, after following for a long time, following architecture and development in recent years, I've always referred to it as a great resource for inspiration and to go to it. I've always gone to the website to find different projects to kind of refer to, get ideas and learn from other professionals. I think all of us here can sort of relate that the longer we're working, especially working in different contexts and especially in development, we realize how much we don't know the more that we work and how much we can learn from our colleagues and people we know, our networks in different parts of the world. So I've always been so humbled to ask questions and to learn and to do my research. Yeah, and that's helped me a lot. And my background is I'm from the US. I was trained as an architect in California and had volunteered since I was a student at university. I'd volunteered for this organization called Journeyman International, which I'm now heading up in Rwanda. I'm currently based in Kigali in Rwanda, and I've been here for the last 4.5 years now. And what brought me here is after volunteering with Journeyman International as a designer, I got pulled into more administrative work and project management by the founder, who is a dear friend of mine. And he and I started to collaborate more and more, and he offered this opportunity to bring our organization, which is a charity that started in the United States, to bring it to East Africa to manage projects in this region, because we had so many design builds projects with different organizations across Africa that we needed someone to be here on the ground managing things. And not only that, but we needed local professionals. And the more time I spent in Rwanda in the early years, I started to realize, wow, I can't be the only one doing this here. Because I don't have as much local expertise as my colleagues in Rwanda. So in the lockdown of 2020, I decided I'm going to set up a business in Rwanda to start hiring professionals who are trained here in this region to manage projects across Africa and beyond. And so now we have a team of architects here in Kigali that I work with and kind of trained up into our program, which combines volunteers and nonprofit organizations or needs in different parts of the world. We connect them and we oversee the delivery of a design product. Usually it's kind of a schematic design that can be handed off to a local professional to build. Or to fundraise in whatever context. And most of our projects deal with communities in crisis, whether that's a natural disaster or conflict or poverty or anything like that. And yeah, so over the last several years, I've gone from me being alone in Rwanda trying to organize and build a network in Africa to now having an amazing team here. And we're managing up to 20 projects per year, as well as designing in-house projects in Rwanda to generate a little bit of revenue and to allow some training and development, professional development of the architects working here. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing currently. And it's such an honor to be here talking with all of you after so many years of just kind of being in awe and being inspired by this group of people. So it's really great to be here.
So
Nice.
Magna, we hear actually both of you are working within an organization that aims to connect, and then you found us. So just very curious, was it different before you found us? After you found us, how did our platform help you to connect more efficiently or more effectively?
You can go for it, Valentina, if you want to.
I think the
Yeah,
first
it's the
question
same. Go,
goes
go,
to you.
Carly. Go. Don't worry, go.
Yeah, for me, I think it's such a relief to see other professionals in my industry share the passion that I have for development work. And yeah, it was really nice to see that there is a network of people and they are eager to connect and learn from one another. And we all have such different backgrounds and training and life experience and work experience that I know we're all willing to share and exchange with one another. So when I found this network, I was just such a relief, and it was such a weight from my shoulders, just knowing that there's support. if I need help, if I need to ask a question, yeah, I'm not alone. And well, not always, but sometimes I would have moments where I felt really alone and unsupported, especially kind of trying to start something new. It's really important to have a community of people to just be in solidarity, even if you're not working actively together at collaborating on a project. It's just nice to know that there are other people who are willing to just be there and encourage you and go through the hard stuff with you. So yeah, I think
this was one nice thing also, that two of the finalists, they also met each other through the global challenge. These kind of things are really
no, also more than that. So there are indeed two finalist projects. They met each other, but there's another finalist project who met another collaborator, actually also through the Global Challenge program, and they both submitted projects to the Global Challenge. So there are more interactions that maybe there are even more that we don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm very curious because Carly, you, of course, you are not just registered in our platform, you also joined meetings like this with other ambassadors. So did it really help you to really connect to people through these kind of meetings, or you feel actually online, I can just find the names and contact them, that also works well, or a combination?
Yeah. I think for me, for example, it works a lot, like knowing names of people and what they are doing and looking for them and discover what they are doing, for which organization they are working, and discovering really a lot of different realities that I was not aware of, that exist in different countries in different parts of the world, that from which I really can learn a lot. I'm not really I'm really I'm really out of my comfort zone in this kind of meeting. So I'm not a kind of person that then I will contact people to like meet, but I'm really forcing myself to doing, because I think it's really important for this kind of work and job that I want to do. So I think that what you are doing is really helping people like me, or like I really also a kind of young in this world. So I'm really keen and humble to learn and meet people. So this meeting, but also the website is really well organized for us to discover a project, know all the updates, all the collaboration that are like behind that, and then directly contact them. I just like sent an email through the website to one of two projects, like showing my interest for the project and just connect with them. And I really appreciate that everyone else answered me really like happy to connect, to share their project. And even if at the end I wasn't not like offering my skill, but just to meet was really nice. Like then I connected to two finalists. I think that one is in Brazil and one is in India. And through them, I really discovered a lot of different challenges or way to approach this development field that for me was really a moment of learning and growth. And so, yeah, I'm really thankful for what you are doing, guys. And yeah.
There's a lot to discover that was for a long time under the radar. I think that's also what we try to
exactly.
continue.
Yeah, like social media and internet is really helping us discover a lot more than we were able to do it before, but it's still really difficult to do it. Like, and in architecture and development, websites are all there, and still for sure something is missing, but a lot of organization, of group, of communities that are doing and have our same objective and goal are there. And so it's really easier for me and for everyone that is connecting with architecture in development, connecting with this group and organization.
Yeah.
Nice
I felt that too.
Yeah,
and a big part of what I'm doing just on a daily basis is reaching out to other people, other organizations, practitioners, trying to find partnerships and trying to find projects and connect with people. That's part of my job already. And this eliminates a lot of the work, having to go and research and find other people doing the similar work that we could join together with. And so, yes, it's been so helpful professionally, not only personally, with just having that moral support and solidarity. It's been really helpful in connecting with others and kind of bridging the gap between all of the different works that we're doing around the world. You need to, I think we can't do this in isolation, and professionally we need each other to support and connect and offer different, different ways of helping each other. So that has been really key.
There's still a big challenge for us to drag in quite some parties that are interested in collaborating. This is something for the next year.
Well, it's so encouraging because we work very, very, very hard on the website. And 10 years ago, when we just launched architecture and development, we already had the idea to enable projects connect to professionals willing to support. But at that moment, as we all know, it was much more difficult to connect online. And not to mention this kind of group meetings with people from different regions. So the first 5 or 6 years of architecture and development was more about really promoting this community architecture practice and feature the best practices and establish a community of like-minded people. But the last, I would say, pandemic was, of course, not doing really good for nobody, but in terms of connectiveness, it becomes so easy for us to just go online and to meet like this. So yeah, we're really in a new phase of organizing the global challenge, but also to organize more of these meetings with different subjects that people can connect in a more easier way. So I would actually like to ask more specific questions to Carly, because Carly, you have submitted project to our website, and you've also shared some project updates. I'm just very curious about the context you had since your project was published. How interaction with our community, and also, do you find it really helpful to keep sharing the project updates?
Yeah, yeah, it's really exciting where we're at with the project now, and it has been so helpful having this platform to share updates, because it's not necessarily brought in like specific people that I was looking for, but it's more just widening the awareness of the project, and having people share about it within their networks and making it more real has been very helpful, just amongst the whole community. So yes, so at this stage, well, maybe a little bit of backstory on the project itself was, that community center building in the northern province of Rwanda is what brought me to Rwanda in the first place. And so that was like 6 years ago. This proposal came to me as a volunteer living and working in the United States to design a community center for this very rural village in northern Rwanda. And I thought, cool, that's a fun little side project that I can keep busy with in my spare time. And that developed into me now living here over a few years. And so it's part of my origin story. So, 5 years later, after coming here or to visiting the site for the first time, we're now starting to construct. And this is just the reality of architecture and development, that sometimes things take a bit longer than you plan. Because I moved here in 2017 expecting the project to start moving forward as soon as I arrived. And I was very wrong. We were able to build a bit of infrastructure around the site itself. Like, we built these amazing retaining walls and water drainage management and everything. And then we ran out of money, and that led me to keep pushing and wait, and having to be actively patient with the progress and sharing it amongst my networks, and trying to get the support that we need. And then just after, I think I shared it on this website, we got a donor through a different platform, or just a different connection, who offered half of the construction cost. And so that allowed us to start moving forward with getting some engineering technical drawings done. And we're submitting to building permit. Actually, I think today we're submitting to the local government our drawings and land documents. I'm not there. They're doing that. I have a team doing all of this up in the village right now, but I try to go up there as at least like once or twice a month to check in on just the community. That's become like my other home outside of Kigali. And so, yeah, so it sounds like they're moving forward with permitting, and they're trying to fast track so that they can begin construction on site in the next couple of weeks. So 5 years later, it's finally moving. And it's been so great to have the support of the Network on Architecture and Development. Like, people are actually reaching out and saying like, hey, what's the update, and asking questions. And it's been really helpful to have that reminder, and even the accountability to keep monitoring progress and reporting back. And like I said, it kind of becomes more real that way. And it's been really helpful to have this network to share with. But yeah, so we're getting into an exciting phase, and I'm really excited to share some construction photos with y'all soon.
Wow, what an amazing journey, 5 years.
We also
So I do a lot of other things in the meantime of waiting, but
you're not the only
yeah.
one.
Well,
yeah. Have question?
No, not at this moment. I was curious about the part you were just telling. That was also something you mentioned when we met in Amsterdam. So it's good to hear it a little bit more detailed.
Yeah, we can always use continued support moving forward as well.
Yeah.
I would like to just have one last question, and then we can have a little bit more open session for everybody to ask questions. Because after all these stories, we talk about, of course, the benefits of using our platform, but I would also like to hear your suggestions. I mean, what can be improved? Are there things that you still have some challenges that we can be able to help, maybe through our network events or whatever kind of support we can still offer. If
May I
there's
start?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I have
Right.
just one thing. I don't know if, like, that there is the expert page where us as ambassador and a lot of people as like subscribe their profile, but I don't know if the project's lead or the projects are really aware that they can look there for expertise. I feel that it's more the opposite, like us contacted them, but I don't know if it's working on the opposite way. So this is a thing that I'm feeling like entering contact with the different projects. I realized that I don't know if they were really aware that also they can look at the expertise in the website and connect directly with them. So this is a thing that I don't know if you notice this too, or with just my observation. And I don't know actually also how this can be improved, but yes, this is just my thoughts.
Well, there's one thing that we are going to improve to have more interaction with the experts, and that is also it's a notification system. So soon it will be possible that if you have you're an expert on our platform and you're an available expert, you can make clear from what kind of project you like to receive notifications, for example, in a certain country, in a certain category that is in need for a certain expertise or resources. So this is one step that we want to activate this part a little bit more. We hope that this generates more activity between the projects, the challenges on one side and the experts on the other side.
But maybe in the longer term, we would like to also do the notification for the project leaders, like what you mentioned. So the project leaders, they will also receive notifications with experts with relevant skills and knowledge.
Yeah.
But it's a very complicated
I imagine
system to develop with our actually still rather grassroots profile with little financial resources to develop this kind of system. But we are aware of that and very happy to hear that it will be helpful.
Yeah.
For you.
We do see that there is a
others.
potential to activate this. And we're working on it. But if you have suggestions to make it more clear, besides what we just mentioned, is to develop this notification system, then you're very welcome. We're very open for your suggestions.
Yeah, we need suggestions, especially for now. So thank you, Valentina. And Carly, do you also have suggestions? If not, we can also just open it out for other questions.
Yeah, I'm thinking you're getting my wheels turning now with this topic of just connecting with other other experts through this platform. I feel like the most valuable thing for me, having been the personal connection and the conversations that I've had and the calls that I've been part of with different professionals, I think having something that's more easily accessible, like if this notification system could lead to like a consistent meeting calendar or something where you could like schedule times on the platform to meet with other professionals that, you know, have like some kind of availability. Like if we could show, you know, what is our availability and how often we're able to communicate with one another, we can open up that time. If we're committed, this is kind of showing that we're we're committed to the organization or the association of other professionals in this network, we could say these are the hours that I can put aside on a weekend or whatever, and schedule meetings with one another. So we don't, so hopefully that would maybe lessen the responsibility on you to organize these roundtable discussions all the time. But if we had smaller sort of breakout times that we could just connect with people on a call or a video or whatever, that could be something in addition that hopefully wouldn't add too much work to you, because I understand how much effort and time it takes to organize all of this. That's just an idea.
Imagining that for example, every challenge that is published, that it is possible to generate, maybe automatically even a sort of meet up with people that are interested to be part of a brainstorm session for this specific project. People will drop out, but there will always stay a small group that is interested.
It's true. We heard about this many times, and especially now there are so many online tools, online platforms. People already suggested years ago to just start WhatsApp group with all these project leaders who would like to stay connected. I think it's definitely a good idea to investigate this opportunity or clubhouse kind of thing that people can just have an instant chat and stay connected. It's kind of alternative social media, but it's more group based. Yeah.
And there could be certain topics that you have, like on the website, how you have different sort of categories listed on each of the projects where you can show like what you're in need of. There can be a certain kind of social need category of, I need someone who's an expert in engineering, or I need someone who's an expert at this, working in this kind of region or this kind of context. And then people could sign up to be part of a discussion group based on that particular topic. So it's very relevant to everyone who's talking. That's kind of expanding on what you're saying.
A kind of forum, maybe, like with some topics where people can just chat there and so can join that. Because when I brought to, for example, the one of the project, you directly you writing to the project leader, and then you basically you go through emails. But if we just can start conversation there and maybe exchanging topics and things there, maybe it can be also more like useful, because people can add on it, and we can then there meet and decided to meet. So yeah, a kind of forum form for the website, like where you can chat, and yeah, it's interesting, could be interesting. Yes.
Yeah, and forum nowadays is moving from like just a web page into more these kind of meeting rooms.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. We learned a lot from you today. So we have guests today here. Very happy to see you all. Yeah, actually now the stage is not just for us and Carly and Valentina. We also would like to hear if you have questions, particularly for Valentina, Carly, or to us, or whatever you want to say. It's your chance. Kevin might come back later, and for now, any question, any suggestion or ideas to share?
Try once more if possible.
Okay. I don't have a question, but I will just break the ice. So it was so nice to listen to both of you, and I really liked when Carly you talked about the idea of patience when it comes to work in development. So I think it's something that we all like struggle with very on a daily basis, because especially with what happens in the world, and sometimes it's scary that you feel like I'm not moving forward. But when it comes to development work, having a network of people that assures you of this patience and that things will move forward eventually, it's very nice. So thank you to both of you. It was so nice to listen to both of you.
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah.
So I think I would break the ice, like do the opposite, doing a question for one of the participants, because I can see that there is Renato, that is one of the leader of one of the project I connected with, the one in Sao Paulo. So I would like to know from him and from, yes, from like the side of the project, how this connection with people like me or other expertise through architecture in development works, and if you feel, Renato, that this is helpful for you and for your organization.
Hi, everybody. I belong to a finalist project from 2021-2022, which is Fika. It's a very small project, just one house, but it's in a really very central location, and the specificity of Fika is that we buy property, and we crowdfund and buy property and prime property. And this is a house that we have bought last year, and now we are in the renovation process. Valentina has engaged us in another project that we were in, and this is the second project she's with us, which is a small apartment that we have collectively renovated. For us, I think the engagement with architecture in development is quite slow, because we have our routines here and we have our challenges here, and many things that are going on that like tension our daily lives, and also we not exactly have a project that we have to build, but we have already our tenants and we have to build a relationship with them. And also, since Carly was talking about patience, we are also a very patient project. We think in our project for 50 or 100 years from now, in which we have several houses and tenants and people living in happy places and in buildings that we care for. Sometimes it's a little bit like we get a little bit anxious because our schedule is too slow for such an intense acceleration process, like 1 year cycle, and this makes us a little bit tense. On the other hand, slowly we understand that we are experts that can offer quite a lot to the network, because we have a quite original way of fundraising. We started 6 years ago with scratch from nothing, and we decided that we would turn the on button of fundraising, and we wanted to buy property, because property is the key issue in our metropolis. Is if you make a beautiful project, it can become gentrified, for example, or if in the second generation of the people that live inside our projects, the house can be sold for the kids of the people that are not connected to the principles of the project. This is the kind of things that we try to address. I think we have some responses, because 6 years from now, we are already raising funding for our 4th and 5th building that we will buy. They will be in our possession forever. And I think we can offer a lot as experts. Concerning demanding, it's not that easy to fit into our schedule, which is very, very slow. But also at the same time, when we map all the expertise that is in the platform of the architecture and development, we also, and this was our talk from yesterday, for example, when we renovate our buildings, we use normal regular oil painting, like not environmental, not sustainable at all, because it's like something that we buy in the shop and we use it. And we were thinking about, well, that's architecture and development platform to teach us how to make natural paint, wall paint. And this is the kind of thing that when we get familiar with the platform, we can access, and it's really great. We can make an online, like you were talking about, an online workshop on natural painting, very specific things that we need and we need all the time. I think the platform is extremely useful. Another thing I also teach, and it's really an inspiring platform for young architects that are finishing their studies or beginning their professions and want to work with development, with social projects, and don't understand that, well, there's exactly a market on it. And I said, no, you have to build it. You have to build your own job. And I have already appointed the platform for many of my students. But I think speed for us is the biggest challenge. We are always in a hurry here. And the Finalist project here is also a kind of a hurry project. It's an accelerator, and sometimes it doesn't fit totally. Concerning Valentina's participation, it's really great and inspiring, because knowing that someone is paying it from abroad is like paying attention to what we are working, but wanting to give his or her inputs. It's really very nice to have you on board. It's really, we enjoy it really a lot that someone is paying attention to what we are doing, even if it's like designing a toilet or something like this.
Yeah, for me it was really inspiring discovering what you are doing there. I participate in the workshop that you organized some months ago, and now I'm kind of joining your design meeting. And even if I'm not really saying nothing during the meeting, I'm really learning a lot from your process, what you are doing there, how you are structured, and also so I'm not learning just around architecture, but I'm learning so much more, like how this kind of collective ownership works that you are doing there. And so for me, it was really inspiring. Know what are you doing there, and really I'm learning so much more than architecture, but what is all like in support of architecture and our work, because there is so much more. Like I'm starting working. I started working in this field last year with Rise, that is a quite small organization and young. It's just 4 years, and so I'm also there not doing just architecture. I really learning a lot from different sides, how to support with fundraising for like pitching the project to donors and all this kind of supporting stuff that as people working in development need to learn, because as you were saying, Renato, we need to kind of build our business and our way to work. So yeah, it was really inspiring, and thank you to you to inviting me to participate. And yeah, and thank you to Architecture in Development to like bring their project on the platform, and so be able
no, but this is exactly what we want to achieve. It's a type of cross pollination. I don't know if I say it right, but if you have normal architecture websites, it's mainly about the shape of a building or a new material. But actually architecture has so much more layers. And it's crazy that internet is not or hardly used to show these layers, to activate that people can learn from each other, they can meet from each other and collaborate on all these different dimensions of architecture, not just the shape or the new materials.
But also about the process of bringing ideas into life. So that's bring ideas into life involves so much. It's not just in an office where only confronted with a small part of the design process. And that's really not a reality. When you are involved in a project like Fika is running, then you start to indulge yourself in all aspects of the organization, of organizing this project, of the financial aspects, of everything. And that's real life. I think, yeah, it's really good to hear you sharing your collaboration.
And also, I think a platform, it's a very important platform for teaching, because we teach architecture so wrong. I tell my colleagues that are brilliant architects that in 6 years of architectural training, my students, they don't understand really how to do things and how to make things real, how to, they don't hear the word client in my school for 6 years. They just understand about lines and capitalism a lot, but not about like making things happening. And this platform can be really very important platform for people who are training, who want to, because very often architects are trained, my students are trained to hate architecture, because either you are the good architect that can make this traditional like line thing and sell your lines, or you hate architecture. Then you go to other many things that an architecture training allows you to do: graphic design, user experience platforms, and so on. And I think this is a shame. This is very bad. And as a teacher, I really enjoy the platform.
Yeah, that's again very nice to hear. We also we agree completely with you, and oftenly we ask ourselves why the main question that why people do make architecture anyway is not asked. And many architects, they are trained to become oftenly to become a superstar, and the more famous or better they become, the less accessible they become for people that really need them. And it's also a strange system. So that the better they become, the more disconnected or accessible they become. And it's weird.
Yeah, I have a story from a site visit that I went on with one of my team members in Rwanda, who is a recent graduate from the university here. And in the same way, there, you know, as a student, you're taught to be intimidated by the work. And we went to a very remote place where one of our recent projects was built, and it's like a physiotherapy clinic where there are kids who are being helped in their like physical disabilities. And the building itself was incredible. It was done by one of our volunteers from a different country. And when we were leaving that site, my colleague said to me, "I think I've rediscovered my love for architecture." And I was like, why? Like, what was it? What was it about this that made you rediscover this love? And he was just like, seeing the impact of how it helps people, and how it supports, you know, communities who really need, you know, good, healthy, sustainable, safe space. Really changed the way that I think about design. And it was a huge moment for me to see someone else have this moment that I had in my own career. And I hope that all of us have that same moment of realizing the power that architecture has in the world of development, or in dealing with kind of sensitive situations or communities. And yeah, I just wanted to share that because it's what kind of brought this memory back.
It is also mainly why we just mentioned the update section, and where we want to emphasize the importance of the process of building, where our people shown they're busy making something together. And again, if you compare other platforms promoting architecture in a way that it's a separate building without human beings, without context, this is a strange idea too. If you Google architecture, you look for images on Google, you only see buildings without people. You see buildings without context. It's just the design that gives you a very short idea from, it's an inspiring corner, I can do something with it. But you don't see people making things or getting, how do you say that? How they're building places together.
It's more, right? It's even more than that. It's not just the building process, also the preparation, you know, like people getting together in workshops, developing all these ideas together. And, you know, it's a process of aligning values and aligning interest. And without this process, the building will be without meaning.
Meaning,
all
that was
the
the
people,
word.
all the people participating
Creation
in the
of
process.
meaning.
Yeah. So that's actually related to our topic for the next roundtable, because as a platform, we've been promoting the best practices And for the early years, we used very static medium, photos, and we promote build projects. But now we really want to inspire young practitioners to understand this new practice. And it's really more about the process, not the end products. And to do so, we want to really like experiment more and more the moving images, videos of the process, and even this kind of meetings, all the conversations, all the topics and ideas indeed are worth sharing, as Renato just mentioned, could be very interesting alternative materials for teaching as well. So this will be the topic for the next table talk. And I think the time is also almost there. I guess there's no question. We have to kind of run it up. But if you still want to say something right away, you still have 3 minutes now.
Can I say something?
Sure.
I'm sorry. I mean, I've never met any one of you, and no, I just want to say I really appreciate it that I could just participate and listen to you. Yeah, it was very, very interesting, and I heard a lot of things that resonated a lot with me. And you know, as an architect who then branched into, I don't know, financing of collaborative housing and so on. It was, yeah, it was very interesting and inspiring. And to my detriment, I have to say, I never, I mean, I haven't registered on your platform yet, but yes, I'm definitely going to do that, I guess. And I'm happy to connect further, you know, in the future. Yeah.
I'm going to write down your name right now.
We'll check.
Please register. And to round off today, I actually want to do a little call to action, because the project Renato just introduced, they're working on community housing in Brazil. And I understand that you are very interested in finding more people to support the making of your fundraising campaign, right? And we are sharing this on social media, but you are here, you just heard a story about Fika in Brazil, what they do. If you're interested in helping Fika making their future fundraising campaigns, please check their project on our website or get in touch. Just spread a word. It's the promotion is on social media. You see it, share it with people who might be interested.
Yeah, that'd be great. Definitely.
So it's time.
It's time. Yes.
We have to leave. Thank you so much, everybody, for your interest and time. Yeah, we know if you're interested, you will find us and you will register. And if you have questions, just let us know through all these social media channels or whatever.
We're quite accessible, aren't we?
I don't know.
Such a pleasure, everyone.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Amazing.
Joining us.
Bye.
Stay in touch.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Thank you so much.